What's the good word, everybody? How's everybody doing on this Saturday night? This is your boy, the Sports Dr. Spock, and I'm coming at you with another pro wrestling video. This guy right here is Nick Bockwinkel, one of the Minnesota Territories AWA's greatest wrestlers, or one of the better wrestlers or most decorated wrestlers of all time, Tricky Nicky Bockwinkel. Larry Zbyszko once said about this dude, you ask him what time it is, he'll tell you how to build a watch. That's just the type of guy he is. So let's listen to some of the comments of Mr. Nick Bockwinkel as he speaks on Hulk Hogan, Eric Bischoff, Curt Hennig, and another former AWA heavyweight champion, Stan Hansen. Get into it, Tricky Nick.
Hulkster has always been very, very professional. He is a product of our times. One of the things I always liked about Hogan, I'd always find out whoever I was working with from a second. I'd say, go in the other dressing room and see how warmed up they are, how ready to go they are. Because once you go out that door, the match starts right then and there. And you're liable to step into the ring and go from 0 to 6,000 RPMs right now. And if that's going to happen, I know I'm prepared to go 6,000 RPMs, but it's going to take you a couple of minutes to wind up there if you're not ready. Hogan always was ready. He came in, if we wanted to press the button and zoom, it was going to happen. It was going to take place. He was always very professional in that respect, and God bless him. I'm happy for him that he's made the money that he's made and accomplished the things that he's done. I wish I could have been more part of it and made a little more money. I mean, I was started, poor guy on the backside.
You mentioned
Nick was just Nick. If you was wrestling today with the success you had, you would be a millionaire. It's guys that didn't have half the career you had that's making a lot of money right now. So Nick, you just came in at the wrong time. One of the more craftier heels in the ring that you'll ever see.
his name earlier, Eric Bischoff.
Met Eric when he walked into Vern's office one time, not after he walked in, but he walked in trying to sell Vern something in the dying days of the AWA, and got a job as an announcer.
Mm-hmm.
Then he heard that they needed an announcer down in Atlanta. He sent a tape, got a job down there. But working with him just the very short period of time that I did, not that much, doing just a few interviews because I was out of the business by then.
Mm-hmm.
His ego just screamed right across the board. And fortuitously for him, which I presume he saved enough money from his days.
At Prepass, we understand that
Good
managing
Lord,
a fleet
a
is a
commercial.
complex and demanding task.
Oh, boy.
One of the most difficult.
They had enough of wrestlers being in charge at TNT, and all of a sudden they were desperate, looking around, who are we going to put in charge of this freaking animal? And Eric knew enough and talked authoritatively enough to impress all of them down there that he knew about the business and how to run the business, and he wasn't a wrestler. So they said, oh man, we got to go with this guy. So he got himself in a position. But the ego that you see, I mean, I laugh when I see him doing the ego shtick that he's doing on the TV. I was going to say, he's not doing the shtick. He's just being himself.
Eric also, to go back in time, he sent the tape down to Atlanta, also interviewed in New York for the WWF before he ever went to Atlanta. And, things just didn't work out. You can go on the WWE Network and you can check out, I guess, his interview tape. Where did I see it? Did I see it on the WWE Network? Or did I see it somewhere on the internet? I believe I saw it on the WWE Network, which you can find on Peacock. I saw his, I should be able to tell y'all exactly where I saw it so y'all can check it out. Well, look it up here on YouTube. I'm sure you can type in Eric Bischoff's WWE audition tape.
Probably people call him one of the greatest ribbers of all time, Curt Hennig.
So sad. So sad. I've already told you the story about him and his brother taking my boat out. Tremendous talent. The mother, the father. know him. And I haven't been around him for the past 7-8 years. So how do I know what he's gotten into, what he's doing? But when you start drinking a little and taking some roids, if that's the case, and then taking a little speed, and you enjoy a little bit of your booze, you're sending all sorts of signals to your body, pushing it in about 3 or 4 different directions, and you can't do that very long before the body just says, I can't do this, and it quits on you, and breaks my heart. He had a lovely, gorgeous wife, 4 beautiful children, and I think he thought, it's not me.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, I had a 28-year-old brother that my parents found in his bathroom on his side of the house, laying there. So it's not a new story for me, but it just breaks my heart because, I mean, my God, this gorgeous woman and 4 gorgeous kids. I have no idea what the kids are thinking. I would imagine when they say, "Gee, Dad, wasn't Mom and 4 of us enough?" I sure as hell hope that it doesn't affect any of them negatively. Sad.
Stan Hansen.
Before we get into Stan Hansen, delirious Stan Hansen, I'll talk a little bit about Curt Hennig, who's a former AWA heavyweight champion. I believe, did he beat Stan Hansen for that title? Who did Curt beat? I know he lost it to Jerry Lawler, but I don't remember offhand who he beat for the championship. Y'all write it down in the comments. I know some of y'all might remember. I just forget, right? I know, but I just forget at the moment who Curt won the AWA championship from. But because I know Hansen beat Rick Martel. But anyway, a little bit more about Curt. A lot of y'all might know him as Mr. Perfect, Curt Hennig. Very good athlete, real smooth in the ring. I really enjoyed his ring work. Also a former Intercontinental champion and WCW United States champion. A former 2-time, I believe, Intercontinental champion. I think he won it more than once. And I believe his son won it another time. But he was great in the ring, and it was sad for him to go. I believe he was right at 40 or just under 40 years old when he died. It's very sad to see somebody that talented gone so soon. It's what at that time a lot of wrestlers was going away. His best friend Rick Rude died not too long. I think before he did. They both died around the same time, and they were best friends. Go ahead. Let's get back to Nick and Stan Lariat Hansen.
Stanley and Brody loved Japan. They'd go over there and legitimately pound the shit out of everything other than Baba and Shiruda. And then, of course, they put on their airplane suits for Jumbo and Baba. So Baba didn't mind either. Mm-hmm. Went over there one year with the tournament, tag team tournament in the fall. And the first night, Brunzell and I are working with Hansen and Brody on TV, broadcast around the nation. And I said to Jim, Jim, punch for punch, kick for kick, bump for bump, move for move. They're 2 big men. Maybe they're not going to bump that ball. Take them off their feet. Just let them fall down like a sack of shit falling off the back of a truck. And I'm saying, and get ready to go 105 miles an hour. And I says, and when I say punch for punch, I mean lay them in.
You better, because they hit you.
You're jacking me around. I says, I'll start.
Goddamn. Shit. All these commercials.
And when we came through 20 minutes later, back to the dressing room, he says, I can't believe. But thank you for winding my motor up. And this is I saw a match with myself and Hansen in the Minneapolis Dome, and it was, like lines on TV going across the screen. And this was just. This is when he was champion. I mean, to them, a great match was pound the shit out of you for 20 minutes, pin you.
Mm-hmm.
And yet they knew better. Both of them. They knew better. So, all you're telling me is that you're a totally selfish individual and you really don't give a damn. And of course, that belt over there, okay?
That was W. my next question.
Oh, yeah. He leaves, walks out of the Denver big arena because he realized he just might lose the match that night and wasn't going to chance it because he was going to Japan, and he had already booked in Japan as the AWA champion. About a week later, comes back and he's still running around working a few spots as AWA champion, and AWA sends him a notarized letter, cease and desist, or we will sue you. So he sends that thing back in a big FedEx box after he had run over it with his pickup truck. You see the tracks of the truck right across it. And the thing had a curve and it was like this.
I never heard this story.
The sad part here that saddens me, Stanley, is that there was a whole group of people out there long before you and your big body came along to give you the opportunity to make the money that you made in the profession that was there that you joined. And you made all that money. But how much did you respect anything that was there? That was the thing that my question would be. How you're saying you had no respect for it. Only what it took care for Stan. Stan may have.
I want to speak a little bit about Stan Hansen. Nick Bockwinkel is really the first person who's I've actually heard say anything disparaging about Stan Hansen. Now, everybody said he was stiff. And for all y'all who say wrestling is so fake, and it is scripted, but y'all say it's fake, ain't never been in a ring with Stan Hansen or Bruiser Brody, because they are legitimately hitting you and knocking the shit out of you. You want to see how hard that Stan Hansen would hit you? Look, Google, YouTube a match that he had in Japan where he knocked Vader's eye socket out of place. They both legitimately had to go to the hospital and get fixed up after that match because it was so physical, and they were really, really hitting each other, really laying it in. But most people said Stan Hansen was actually a nice guy. He was stiff as fuck to work with, but they said he was a great guy. But it is kind of funny about him running over the AWA belt and sending it back. Ooh, but they say he has a hell of a sense of humor too, from what I've heard in other shoot interviews about Stan Hansen. But I've never, besides he was stiff as fuck and would beat the shit out of you in the ring if you ever had to work him that night. That's really the only negative things I've ever heard about Stan until now.
May have his first nickel. God bless him. There's nothing wrong with that. But the point being that, did he ever stop to realize for 1 second? To him, if he pounded on you for 19 minutes and you got 1 minute and then he pinned you, that was a great match. It was a great piece of shit. And that's sad. That's sad. I mean, and I like Stan. Mm-hmm. Stan basically is a nice person.
See?
I mean, he was not as bizarre as Brody.
Yeah, Brody, as if you look up a match he had with Lex Luger, could be pretty physical too, and that's how they worked in Japan. Going over in Japan, they are trained and knock the shit out of you over there, but they pay very well over there. That's why you never really seen Brody stay in the United States that long or stay with an organization that long, because he could always go to Japan. Brody, Stan Hansen, Vader, Abdullah. That's why Abdullah always had a line back over to Japan and made probably most of the money that he made in wrestling in Japan. But that was Nick Bockwinkel. Let me know what y'all think about this video. Like, share, and subscribe. You can also see this video on Title Match Wrestling. I will put a link to Title Match Wrestling's YouTube page so y'all can follow them over there to see the full video without my big mouth and ugly face, because I enjoy their content. And, you know, come back over here and see some of my content too. Check me out some more. This is your boy, the Sports Dr. Spock. And I am gone. Y'all enjoy y'all Saturday night.